for the first quantity. So the marginal utility they receive here is $210. The marginal utility they receive for eating at home is $100. So which one is greater?
The outside is great.
210 is greater. So they're gonna eat out. They will eat out because 210 is greater than 100 marginal utility.
But I mean, where's the 10 there? I don't understand.
What? Oh, the
And the
income
in-
is $10.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question.
What?
So, when your meals at home,
I can't hear you loud.
with the meals at home, why wouldn't you go with the second one, since you have $10?
So yeah, I'm going there. So they could eat out for 210, or what they could do is they could spend. So they have $10 is their income, right? And the meals at home cost $5. So they could have first meal at home, which is $100, and then which is 100 marginal utility, and then so this costs $5. Now they have $5 left, so they can have another meal at home, and that would cost them $10, and they'll stop at quantity 2. So they could eat out one time and for this marginal utility, or they could eat at home twice. Home twice for $10. Marginal utility for eating at home, the total is $160. The marginal utility of eating out is $210. So the first meal that they get outside, they get satisfaction of $210. The first meal they get at home, they get satisfaction of 100 utility. They cannot afford to eat out again, so $10, if they use $10 to dine out, that's the only one quantity they can consume. So, but here they can have another meal at home, and the utility for that is $60. The total utility for $10 if they eat at home is $160, which is still lower than $210 they are getting out from consuming the first dining out at restaurant. So what they really do is they eat out. Because 210 is greater than 160. Questions?
So why don't you take the marginal utility per dollar into account?
Yeah, I was also considering when I'm thinking here. 21.
So if you take marginal utility per dollar into account, for the first quantity it's 21 here, and the first quantity here is 20, for the second quantity here is 12. So you're saying that that would be greater than 21?
Yeah.
We're not gonna, right now we're not gonna look into that. Right now we're just gonna look at marginal utility. That will come into play later. But does everybody understand that why they're choosing one meal outside?
No.
because we're looking at marginal utility, and for the, you don't get it?
No.
Okay, which part don't you get?
Like I don't understand. Like what? Like if they're getting $10, how can you see like they're spending $10? I'm like I don't know. Like I don't know. I just don't
So
get it.
$10 is their income, let's say,
Mhm.
it's given to you. They have two choices. They can eat at home, or they can eat at a restaurant. So don't look at marginal utility per dollar right now. Just look at this column, marginal utility here, and marginal utility here. Now, for the first meal, the first quantity outside gives them a satisfaction of 210, right? And it costs them $10. So you'll spend $10 on the first meal, because per meal is $10, right?
Okay.
So per meal is $10. You will spend the $10 on one meal, and it's giving you a satisfaction of 210, right? Now you have $10 still to spend. Your second choice. Now listen, if you didn't get it. So your second choice is to spend that $10 eating at home. So the first meal eating at home costs you $5, because meals at home are costing you $5 per meal. So the first meal costs you $5 and give you satisfaction of 100 euros. You still have $5 left from your income. So you're going to consume another meal at home with the $5. So the second meal costs you $5 more, so that's total of $10, right? 5 plus 5, that's 10. You can stop here. The total marginal utility you get from these two meals is 160. 100 plus 60, 160. Which is less than the marginal utility you got here from eating outside. So if you are given these two choices, and you're given this marginal utility column, by comparing, you can see the $10 you spend eating out one meal, the marginal utility is greater compared to the two meals you eat at home for the same $10.
But does it have anything to do with what you have more quantity with the 160?
No. The total marginal utility, even with more quantity, so even though you're having two meals, the marginal utility for even two meals is lower compared to the marginal utility of one meal here. Any other question so far?
So we're always looking for the greater
What?
marginal utility price.
What?
So we're looking for the greater marginal.
Yeah. Yeah, so far I just want you to look at that. Okay, now let's say that the income increased to $50. Everybody got this part? This is what they will do. If the income was $10, this is what they will do. This is the answer.
Zero?
So these were the two choices they could do for $10. They could eat one meal out for 210 euros, 210 satisfaction, or they could eat two meals at home twice for $10, so 160. Now you compare, and this one has greater utility, so they will choose to eat out. This is the answer. They will choose to eat out. Everybody got that? Okay, I'm gonna erase it. Now we're gonna increase the income to 50. I can erase it.
Professor, let's do it from there.
Okay.
That's
Okay, yeah.
okay.
Now the income increased to $50. So, how much of each will they buy?
$15.
let's compare the marginal utility. First, we're gonna say, well, the first $10 they can spend eating out, and it will give them 210 euros. Here, if they spend, the first $10, they can have 2 meals at home, but the utility is lower, so the first $10 they will do this, right? What about the next $5?
Right.
Okay, let me say that again. So, what we're gonna do here, we have $50 income, and we're gonna spend the income either eating out or eating at home. The first $10 we're spending eating out because the marginal utility is greater, 210, compared to these two meals. So this is $10 spent. Now how much you have left? How much is left if
40.
right, 50 minus 10, so $40 are left. So how are you gonna spend your next 40? You have consumed one meal outside and you have spent $10 on it. You have $40 left. You haven't had any meal at home yet. You haven't spent any money at home yet. So next you're gonna look at quantity 2 outside gives you 90 euros. And quantity 1 outside gives you 100 euros. So are you gonna eat at home or are you gonna eat the second meal at restaurant as well?
Here.
What? At home. You're gonna eat the second meal at home because 100 is greater than 90. So that's $5. So now you are at $15 of your income. You chose to eat the next meal at home because 100 euros is greater than 90 euros. So now you have spent $15 of your income. How much is left? 35? Or no? So 40 minus 5 is 35, right? So you have $35 left. So far you have consumed one meal outside and the second meal was at home. Now for the third one. Now the next one. So the next meal at the restaurant has 90 euros. And the next meal at home has 60 euros. So which one are you going to consume? Huh? Eating out. So you're going to consume, the next one will be eating out, and that will cost you $10. So now you have 35 minus 10, you have $25 left. So now with the $25 left, are you going to consume the next meal at home that gives you 60 euros? Or are you going to consume your next meal outside, which gives you 40 euros? What? At home gives you 60 euros, so you're going to do this one. So this will cost you $5. So now you have 25 minus 5, you have $20 left. What are you going to consume next? Are you going to eat out? That gives you 40 euros? Or are you going to consume the third meal at home that gives you 40 euros? It's a tie. So you could do either one. So with you have $20 left, you're going to consume one meal outside. That's for $10. You have $10 still left, so you're going to consume one meal at home. which was $5, so you still have $5 left. 10 minus 5, you still have $5 left. Now, what's the next one? Are you gonna consume,
That's,
what, it's a tie again? Oh, damn.
But you still have $5.
We got $5.
Yeah, so you're only gonna consume this one, right?
Yeah.
Because you cannot,
the
for
price
the,
is less.
what?
For the utility is equal, the price is less to eat at home.
So for the next meal, you have $5 left, the utility is the same, but you only have $5, so you're gonna consume this one, right?
Yeah.
You cannot afford to eat out anymore, so. So with the $5 here. So in total, what we did was we consumed 4 meals at home and 3 meals outside with the $50 budget. So budget is $50. With $50 income, we consumed 4 meals at home and 3 meals in a restaurant.
For me,
Question.
Yeah.
I know this is a bit like off topic, but I know that you have office hours on Mondays and Tuesdays, Wednesdays. But are you gonna like be in office, be in your office like after today, for today?
I can stay after class if you have a question. Or we can talk more about it after class. About the office hour time.